Black Sabbath, Master of Reality, right? So this is your standard. This is a Terry pressing on the olive green label, right? And this is a fantastic sounding pressing. If you're into kind of dirgy, kind of dark, fuzzed out guitar, right? But everybody knows that the ultimate Sabbath pressing is the Vertigo on this swirl, right? And, you know, this is kind of the ultimate Sabbath collectible, the Vertigo pressings of the record. But unfortunately, as my hi-fi system grew and became better and better, I started to realize that the standard olive pressing sounds better than the Vertigo, which is probably something a lot of people won't say, because this starts at around over $100. This is UK Vertigo, and this is probably about a $30 record.
Yo, what's up? Bob here. Welcome to the Bob Bradley YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking Rhino high-fidelity series of records, the self-titled Black Sabbath record. Got it right here. Bam. Now, I know it's like beating a dead horse, but consider whose channel you're watching. We've been talking Sabbath here on the Bob Bradley YouTube channel for quite some time. This is a rather nice edition of this record, mastered by Kevin Gray at Coherent, pressed at Optimal, limited to 5,000 copies. Has this little obi with the little poop sheet on it, gives you all those facts that I just told you. Really heavy duty tip-on jacket, kind of big, had to make my own custom sleeve for it, no big deal. It does ship in this black anti-static sleeve, but I chose my typical rice-lined inner. Now, we did A/B this record against a couple other pressings. We have a UK Vertigo here. Very nice, very clean specimen. Had that for a while now. And of course, an Artisan cut pressing on the olive green label. This is a Pittman. Beautiful sounding cut of this record. As you might have gathered, I love the Artisan cut versions of these Black Sabbath records, as you can see from the video at the front. If you've been watching the channel for any time at all, you know that I have all of the Sabbath records on Vertigo. Just a second greenie of Master of Reality with this cool cover that's got all the blue. I've got all the different stuff, all the Sabbath pressings, yeah. And yeah, I like them all. It is subjective, and it is kind of up to you to determine which one you like. You don't have to get them all. I mean, they all sound like the record. Let's talk about this for a second. The first thing is the obvious thing. It's a mint copy of the record. No scratches, no pops, no ticks. Very flat. Rhino did a great job on this. The mastering's rather nice. Kevin only screwed the pooch a few times, in my estimation. When you make an album and you send it to master, one of the first things that they do, and they have always done, is a bit of high-pass filtering, which is removing bass while letting the highs pass on through. There's different ways to accomplish this through EQing and high-pass filtering, but it does have a dramatic effect on the sound of the record. You can tell that Kevin was trying to balance the sound stage and get some clarity out of it while maintaining the bass, right? The Vertigo, there's a lot of the bass missing, and as a result, you don't get as much bass and drive, but you get a lot of clarity, and that really counts for something because Sabbath is a dark, dirgy band. The Artisan, you get the dark You get the heavy, the fuzzy, the distorted attitude of this record, but you also get enough clarity and the vibe is strong. This pressing, the Artisan pressing, has attitude, it has vibe, it has some clarity. This is not a super audiophile recording. It's meant to be heavy and aggressive and filled with attitude. Bill Ward, beast of a drummer, normally a very dry sound, but not on this record. This record features more of an ambient sound with some reverb, if you will. And the more lows you cut from this record, the drier it becomes. The more you put back on, the more of that ambience that you get back. And you can definitely hear that in the Rhino HI-fi, for better or worse. Great job done on this by Kevin. I would highly suggest this. If you got it, congratulations. You have a great pressing of the record. That said, not to take anything away from the Vertigo or the Artisan cut, I prefer the Greenie over the Vertigo. I love the Vertigo. I think when you start to clear up that soundstage, you start to hear Bill Ward's drums really clearly. I love Bill Ward. Geezer, yeah, he's taken a beating on this pressing, but he's there. You just got to listen very carefully. This is the most perfectly balanced, beautiful sounding pressing of the record. What's the issue? It's hard to get a very clean copy of this. Mine, incredibly clean. But, as we've already discussed, I've been collecting these Black Sabbath records for quite some time, so I started getting these when there were many around. I think that the obvious move for a lot of mastering engineers that would address this would be to try to clean up Tony's guitar sound a little bit, because it's rather dark. He plays up high on the neck around the 12th fret a lot, and that makes the sound darker and woollier. So I can see the logic in trying to pull some lows out of that guitar, and that would clean up the sound stage a lot, because you won't have all that low end building up with the bass and the kick drum and the guitar and all that. That said, that is where a lot of the attitude of this record lies, in the guitar. There's some beautiful sounding guitar tones on this record that Kevin cut. You can tell he was very careful about the way he did this. If they make more, I'll probably get them. The Rhino High Fidelity Sabbath, 2 thumbs up from me. If you don't have the record and you got the record, I think you made a great move. I wouldn't go out and spend $150 or anything like that on it. Maybe try to get a beautiful Artisan pressing of the record, see what that costs. Condition goes a long way when it comes to this audiophile stuff. The cleaner the record, oftentimes, the better the experience. Pressing quality is very important when it comes to vinyl records. So take that for what you will. 5,000, awful low number. And because of all the fanfare around this record, I suspect that the next Sabbath record to drop, or any of the big kind of classic titles, will disappear really quickly. And until we meet again, that's right. Bob out.